Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome everybody back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle channel. We are reviewing last night's TNA Impact, which started off with a great package of the Sacrifice pay-per-view and then opened up with Chris Sabin versus Mustafa Ali. Sabin jumped Ali's security instead of making a proper entrance. During this match, Sabin used a lot of aggressive offense, which nearly caused him to get disqualified. So we're kind of seeing a bit more of a, more of an aggressive side to him. You know, the things with the time splitters and Shelley, is that also on there as well? Are we seeing Sabin maybe turn slightly as well? At this point, he nearly got himself disqualified at one point because of that aggressive offense. A really good back and forth match for the X Division Championship. There was one point near the end of this where Ali went to retrieve the title, and then Sabin hit a clothesline from Hell, Michigan to counter. As Sabin went to pick up the title and use it, Ali ducked, rolled him up with his feet on the ropes to stay champion. So Ali using a wily veteran ways to continue his reign as X Division champion at Chris Sabin's expense. Although Sabin was picking up the title, looking to use it. So maybe what's fair is fair on this, but Sabin's character is turning at this point. I just wonder if there's going to be something going on there. Because, you know, as I said, with Shelley as well, there has been a real bit more frustration from Alex Shelley since losing the world title to Moose. Blames Kushida because of the throwing in the towel, etc. So little bits of changing on the horizon, it seems, with the Motor City Machine Guns. We'll find out what happens to that. Maybe get a bit more next week. There was a bit about Nick Nemeth at the back with Gia. He spoke about tonight's six-man main event and the fact that Speedball Mountain and Nick Nemeth, they all have eyes on one thing, which is the gold around the system's waist. Interesting. Josh Alexander was next. He comes out in his wrestling gear, really. Good reaction from the Windsor crowd there. He did recall relinquishing the World Championship in Windsor a year ago, and he's on his journey back. However, Hammerstone is currently a big roadblock in that, and to be fair, he is one big roadblock. And their match, Sacrifice, was great, was brilliant. I loved it. I want to see more of it. He did call Hammerstone out, but he didn't get Hammerstone. He did get Bravo and Oleg to interrupt. Oleg Prudius. They come out and said, Josh lost Sacrifice because Dirty Dango softened him up. And at that point, Dango did try to ambush Josh from behind, but Josh had eyes in the back of his head and get threw out. Oleg steps in the ring at this point, Oleg Prudius, and Santino books the match, which lasts about 60 seconds as Josh Alexander targets the ankle right away and very, very quickly tapped out Prudius in under a minute. Interesting. Josh Alexander wants Hammerstone. I would like Josh Alexander and Hammerstone as well, please, TNA, one more time. I think they need the rubber match, right? So get it booked. Get it booked. Crazy Steve was coming out about for a promo, talking about all the challengers that he's beaten for the digital title. And PCO walks out to confront him, and Steve just laughed and ran away. Oh, well, slowly retreated, shall we say. It looks like PCO wants a bit of Crazy Steve. That could be crazy. I don't know. I'm interested to see where they go with that. Obviously PCO. I still don't think he's finished with Con though. I still want to see a big match between them two. I know we had the no DQ match at Sacrifice. I do want to see some Monsters Ball. I keep saying the word Monsters Ball. I want to see it. I want to see it. Well, we'll see. But it looks like right now he's got his eye set on Crazy Steve and the Digital Media Championship. Ace Austin was next against Frankie Kazarian. Do you know what? I love this because this is a typical young versus old student teacher type match. You know, Ace Austin. I've seen him in singles action. I've seen him in singles action over here in the UK actually, as part of Slam Masters last year in Wales. Very, very capable as a singles athlete. Do like Bullet Club ABC when they're together with Chris Bay. But however, This match itself was great. It was a student teacher match. Ace started it very, very well. But Kazarian going into the commercial break left Ace in rough shape on the floor. There was a bit where Chris Beaa, obviously, because he was at ringside for this, he was, having a bit of a to-do with Kazarian as well. Ace started to rally back to get some offensive. At that point, Kazarian responds with an electric chair drop for a near fall. Match kept going on. It was a really, really good match. Lots of momentum for Ace, but every time Ace was building the momentum, Frankie was knocking him down again. And eventually, Kazarian trapped Ace in the chicken wing for the tap out. It didn't stop there though, because after that, Kazarian starts attacking Chris Beaa until Eric Young comes out and chases Kazarian off. And I think we're probably going to get to that match very soon. Kazarian versus Eric Young. I certainly think we'll see that again in the near future. The system run down their accomplishments at this point. They've got all the gold pretty much in TNA right now, barring the digital media and the knockouts. And they're just bigging themselves up, which is very unlike the system, isn't it, to big themselves up. But they're in the main event, I believe, tonight. So we'll have a look at that. In the locker room, Gio was trying to get a word in edgeways with the Time Machine, Kushida and Alex Shelley. But the grizzled young veterans interrupt on this. And Shelley was saying, if you want to prove yourself that they're the best, face the Time Splitters. And I think that match will be happening very, very soon on TNA TV. And that will be absolutely brilliant. I will look forward to watching that match when that does happen. Still not sure about Alex Shelley and his motives yet, though. I still think there's something there. We may not have, I don't think he forgives Kushida yet at all. But there we go. Now, the match that was really been building up over these last month or so is AJ Francis and Joe Hendry. So when AJ Francis was doing debuted, he was interrupted. Joe Hendry done a really funny video. It's not, they've not had a match since then properly. They started it on here. Hendry did start a promo which only fired up Francis, and he started to manhandle Joe Hendry quite early on. He however, manages to start a comeback until the ref gets knocked down. At this point, AJ Francis grabs a chair from under the ring and he went to use it, but Hendry ducked and hit a drop kick. Now, at this point, Rich Swann comes out to intervene. Looks as though he's trying to even things up in terms of the chair thing. He grabs the chair. He's looking like he's hitting AJ Francis with it, but he turns around and hits Joe Hendry instead. AJ Francis hits the choke slam, and conveniently the referee starts to stir at this point and gets the 3 count for the victory. But Rich Swann aligns himself with AJ Francis. I'm looking forward to hearing Rich Swann's actions for that, because that is a big move to make. Rich has been a very good wrestler in TNA over the last good few years that he's been there. And I just don't know his motives for this. It's an interesting one. I'm looking forward to hearing for what Rich Swann has to say at some point about it. But yeah, gone against Joe Hendry and cost Joe Hendry the match against AJ Francis. At this point, it was sound check time again with Alan Angels, and he did try to host one with the greatness of Ash by Elegance. But George Iceman goes off about not being what's promised. Ash agrees to participate anyway, and she did announce she would have her 3rd match in TNA next week. Interesting. The new TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions, Spitfire, Danny Luna, and Jody Fret against Beaa Moss and Vanna Black. MK Ultra and Decay both make their way out to watch as well. Didn't really last too long. Spitfire hits their double team finisher on Black, and Jody Fret scores the pinfall on this. Are they going to go with a 3-way dance, a 3-team dance for that championship? Are they going to look at maybe MK Ultra and Decay versus Spitfire in the near future? The tag titles have changed quite quickly since the start of the year, and it's going to be nice to have a settled tag team championships. I do like long. I'm not saying I want every title reign to be long. There's got to be a meaningful reason for it to change. I just would like them to have a decent run. So we'll see what happens, but could be a 3-team match on there coming up. Would like to see that if it does happen. Tasha Steelz at this point interrupts them on the commentary desk, claims that she didn't lose at Sacrifice because it was Xia that was pinned and not her. She challenges Jordynne Grace to defend her title next week. And we do get a rundown before the main event of next week, which is going to be Grizzled Young Veterans versus Time Splitters. My God. Crazy Steve versus PCO for the digital media title, and Aspire Elegance will be in action. Plus, the match we were just talking about, Tasha Steelz one-on-one with Jordynne Grace for the Knockouts Championship. Cannot wait for that. It looks to be a stacked show next week. Really looking forward to that. The main event was Maclin and the Rascalz versus Nick Nemeth and Speedball Mountain. This was a brilliant six-man tag team match. I really enjoyed this. You've got Maclin with the power and the presence and the hard hitting. You've got the Rascalz with their great tag team and they're flying around everywhere. You've got Nick Nemeth. It's got a combination of both of that. And then you've got Speedball Bailey with the MMA and the running around. And then you've got Trent 7. I think that's 7. With his just his experience and it just really worked on this. They worked on Trent's left foot early doors on this match as well, and that was great how they continued to work on that. There was bodies all over the place on this. Nemeth, when he got the hot tag, was unloading with drop kicks on all 3 opponents. There was bodies on the floor. Maclin flies out to try and hit, I think, Nemeth, but he got tackled Trey Miguel. Wentz and Maclin then start shoving each other. The Rascalz then just took off and left Maclin on his own. A Speedball Bailey hits a moonsault and then a spin kick into Nick Nemeth, who hits the danger zone for the win. However, this wasn't the end. As they were celebrating in the ring, the system ran out to attack. Nemeth hit the super kick on Moose, go to super kick Moose until Alicia pulls his foot, allowed Moose to fire back with a title shot across the face of Nemeth, Bailey, and then 7. And TNA goes off the air with the system holding the gold. Another eventful week in TNA wrestling. It's been great since its comeback. Impact just keeps on rolling and keeps getting better and better and better. I think No Surrender's the next one, and I'm looking forward to that. I think that's in April. Only about 3 or 4 weeks away for that as well. We're looking forward to that. Tune in next week on TNA Impact for those matches that we just run down. Jordynne Grace will defend her title. Crazy Steve defends his title, and we get the Grizzled Young Veterans versus the Time Splitters. This has been the TNA Impact review on the Hitting the Turnbuckle channel. We will be back next week with some more great shows. But until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and enjoy your weekend.